Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor, and welcome to another episode of World of Crendor, where I answer the questions you ask me on twitter.com/WoWcrendor and facebook.com/Crendor. I'll every so often be like, hey, I'm gonna ask some questions, or you guys should ask some questions, I might answer them, and then I pick the ones that I think are good and I answer them. That's how it works. So, do that. YOLO. Okay, first question comes from Blue Lagoda. He says, will you make a Patreon so we can give you all our money? Thank you, Blue Lagoda, for offering all your money, but I only want some of it. Haha, I'm just kidding. So Patreon, it's like King of the Web, but it's more about actually producing content. King of the Web was more about getting votes, which was like whatever. What Patreon is you can say, hey, I'm gonna pledge to you $3 or $1 or $10 or $1 billion for every WoW machinima you make, right? So if people really want WoW machinimas, they'll be like, you know what? If you pledge money towards WoW machinimas, I'll make them more often and work harder on them and whatever, right? So you can do that, and so they also set like pledge limits. So for example, Smooth McGroove does this, and he has acapella videos. So he has 577 patrons, and he makes $2,100 per acapella video. And so if you pledge $1, you get access to his patron-only stream. So if you pledge, you get access to a stream he does for pledgers. For $5, you get that, plus you get access to a weekly progress blog that covers challenges and funny moments he has while recording his acapella videos. $15 or more, you get both of those, and you get a monthly invite to Google Hangout, where he'll have a Q&A, and then $50 or more, you get everything, plus a one-on-one 30-minute Skype call. So he has, like, different rewards for doing it. So it's almost like a Kickstarter in a way, but it's like you're kickstarting one person to make certain things, like, for example, acapella videos, or WoW machinimas, or whatever. So I've contemplated doing that, because one of the big reasons I don't make like a lot of story-based WoW machinima and stuff like that is I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool, and then I make one, and they don't really do well. And I'm not like comparatively to like How to Win It, whatever, and Stereotype videos and all those, because Stereotype video and How to Wins and all those, they're more shareable and relatable, and it's easier for them to go viral, while story videos are more fun to make and more artistic and more creative, and I love doing those, but it's like, that's the hardest part of this being a job, is that it takes the fun out of doing those types of videos. Because back, like, you know, when I first started for the first 2 years, it was like, oh, this is my hobby. You know, I'm doing it, so I'm like, oh, I can make whatever I want. I'll make a funny story about Billy. But now it's like, if I make a funny story about Billy, it's going to push back my song I'm making, and it's going to push back my other videos I'm doing in my one thing, and I gotta finish my Let's Plays, and I gotta stream, and I gotta do this, and it's just like, So, you get what I'm saying? It's like first world YouTube problems, pretty much, but, I told Jesse we should do it for Cox and Crendor in the morning, too. I don't know why he hasn't been like, yeah, a good idea yet, but maybe. Well, if you think it's a good idea, and if you'd actually be like, hey, I'll give you $2 for a machinima thing, like, sure. It also makes it seem like cap it off, like, I'll give $2 per WoW machinima, but I can only go up to $10, and then it'll stop after, like, 5 videos, so, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna pump out, like, 800 videos. You get what I mean. Either way, that's what Patreon is. It's a cool idea, and I might do that, just to see how it goes. So, next question. Jared Archibald asks, top 3 favorite movies. Alright. This is a tricky one. I got tea. I know that one of my top 3 is Jiro Dreams of Sushi. If you've never heard of that, if you haven't, it's a documentary about a guy in Japan who's in his 80s, and he's like made sushi his whole life. And he's like one of the best in the world at it. I know he's one of the best in Japan, so I mean, it's probably one of the best in the world, but it's just, I love the way it's filmed. I love the colors. I love just the cinematography and the music. And it's just, oh, I love that movie. It's a documentary. If you like documentaries, go watch it. That's one of my top ones. And then, all of my other 2B. I mean, I'm one of those people where I've like never seen a lot of movies, but now in the past like year or two, I've really started catching up on movies I should have seen. Like everyone's like, "Oh, how have you not seen that?" Like I've been catching up on those movies. So, for example, I saw The Shawshank Redemption. That was really good. I really liked that movie. I saw like a lot of recent. I saw 300. I saw Groundhog Day. I saw Back to the Future. I saw. Do I have my Netflix like watch history? That'd be really cool viewing activity. Let's see. I saw a lot of Disney movies. There's actually a lot of really good Disney movies. The Truman Show, that was a really good movie. The Truman Show might even be one of my favorite movies. I really like that movie. Being John Malkovich is okay. I like the Truman Show a lot more. I watched all the Star Wars again. I think it was pretty good, but I wouldn't put it in my favorites. Hunger Games. Hunger Games was pretty good. I don't know if it'd be in my top 3 though. What else? Oh, I saw a lot of Stanley Kubrick films, like Clockwork Orange. As crazy and disturbing as that movie is, it's a really good movie. And that might be like a top 10. I don't know if it'd be a top 3 though. There's so many movies. I also saw The Rock at Jesse's because he was like, "You need to see The Rock." That was a really good movie. I haven't just watched The Green Mile. Green Mile I felt was good, but it went on too long. I just saw American Hustle. That was supposed to be good. I thought it was okay. It was average. It had pretty good acting. It was just the script was it was meh. The script could have made it a lot better if it was. Yeah. What else? I wish I could like think of all the movies I've like seen like off the top of my head right now, but I can't. I'm trying to just go through. But I would say Jiro Dreams of Sushi, The Truman Show, and at least those 2. I'm not gonna take like any more time on this. If I keep going and think of one, I'll bring it up. All right. Me Want Name says, "Why haven't we seen it in the inside of your fridge?" Good question. For those of you who don't know, on youtube.com/CrendorIRL, where I put up all my non-content, I did TB's fridge, and that was a great video. And now I have TB's fridge, Jesse's fridge. I'll just get as many fridges as possible, and I'm gonna do my fridge. I'm gonna do my fridge very soon, so don't worry, it's coming. Let's see. Next up we have Majestical Otter, and he says, or she says, I don't know, "Do you think the new expansion for WoW is going to make the game feel fresh and alive again?" Yes. That's a very easy question to answer. It is, because that's the way expansions and all those types of things work. You know, DLC, whatever, is it gives life. You know, change brings this like new energy with it. Like, oh yeah, this might be fun again, or like, I have new hope. It's the same thing with if you watch sports. You know, a lot of people, the season ends and it starts up again, and they're like practicing, and it's like opening day for baseball or the first week of football, or you know, whatever it is. Everyone's always like, yeah, you know, we changed some things, some stuff happened, we're energized, we're ready for this. And the same thing works with WoW. You know, you change the environment, the map, the bosses, the atmosphere, you add some new features, and it does make it feel fresh and alive again. And a bunch of people come back to play and test it out. So that's one of the most fun things about getting a new expansion or game or whatever. It's like Heroes of the Storm. Like, I've really enjoyed Heroes of the Storm because, you know, the games like League of Legends and Dota and all those, it's like people figured those out already. and there's like foolproof methods to like how to win games. Like, you have to farm up, and you have to do this, and these champions are a lot better than these champs. Well, like, the new games come out, and you're like, nobody knows what's happening, and it's only an alpha right now, and it's just, I like that. I think it's fun. I think it's fun watching the game grow. I mean, I played League of Legends when it was in, like, right after it got out of beta, and, like, hardly anyone knew about the game, and it was my first MOBA, quote, MOBA game, and I was like, this is so much fun. Like, and it was fun watching the game grow, and it's like hit a point where it's just, I don't know, it's not as fun as when you first discover it and you're like, wow, this is just crazy and different and new, and like, I don't know what I'm doing. I made a video on that. The same thing with WoW and League of Legends, like being a noob versus being like experienced player with the game, and it's just, it loses that fun, new, like adventurous aspect to it, and it's but expansions and those types of things bring back life, so I'm excited for that to happen. Okay. Ryan Lodter asks, why don't you talk about your personal life that much? A few reasons. Number one, it's personal. And that's one of the main reasons it's personal. The same reason somebody might go into work and you don't have to talk about your personal life at work, because technically this is just my work. And if it wasn't my work, it would just be a hobby, and even then I wouldn't talk about my personal life. But on top of that, my personal life isn't that interesting. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, like, I fought in the war of 1983 against the ice zombies, and it was intense. And then when I was little, I got bullied by the abominable snowman and all this stuff. And my life, that's why it's like withdraw my life. My life is literally like, I was born, I lived a pretty good life. My parents were good parents. They're still good parents. I mean, the only bad thing that really happened in my life was like, my grandpa died of brain cancer, and it started my cancer phobia, which has gotten better. But I was like a hypochondriac with all that, and I have anxiety. I mean, I have social anxiety, and that's actually even gotten better too, as I've like become bigger with YouTube and grown with it. Like, when I first started YouTube, I was terrible, and it's helped bring me out. It's helped find who I am. So when I first started YouTube, I was like, wow, people actually think I'm funny, and this is what I sound like, and I can do things. This is crazy. And so over 5 years, it's like I've grown in that, and I've learned, you know, when you film yourself and you hear yourself every day, not many people do that. Not many people film themselves and hear themselves and create things that they show off to people every day, and it builds your confidence. And, you know, you get more comfortable in your own skin and with your own voice, and it just, I don't know, it makes you more confident. And in that, I've like gotten to travel. I go to LA. I've seen places I wouldn't have seen if I wasn't with YouTube. I don't know, like, and then this is my job. I mean, I'd rather have this than every other job. I mean, there's some YouTubers, a lot of YouTubers like, it's, you know, it's trying to get by. Like, people like Jenna Marbles, like, they play it off even, like, it's whatever. But I mean, they do that because they're being nice. Like, Jenna Marbles makes millions. She makes millions of dollars. She makes, as TB says, more YouTube money than God. But I mean, it's because it's the same reason I like to say is like athletes and actors and actresses get paid so much. You know, it's like there's always that argument where like everyone sees athletes and they're like, this guy signed a 4-year contract for $80 bajillion. And everyone's like, we should give that money to teachers. But it's like, the reason they make that much is because that the field they're in, say sports, say football, basketball, whatever, it generates that much revenue from people going to games, watching on TV, you know, buying merchandise, wearing jerseys, all that stuff. And if those players didn't get the money, the owners would. And then we just have really rich owners that hardly paid their workers, quote, which are the athletes. And so then the athletes would be like, hey, you guys are making $1 bajillion while we make, like, hardly anything. And then that's why they get paid so much. You know, that's what happens in, like, the music industry, is a lot of these, like, people signed with record companies, and the record companies are like, we'll take all your money, you know? But then if those people were to make a lot of money, everyone's like, oh, why are you making a lot of money? Does that make sense? Because it's just, I think a lot of it's just people get jealous of others, and that's why a lot of people just play it off, because they don't want to deal with that jealousy from other people. But it's like, you know, I always said I'd rather, when I first started doing this as a job, I was like, I'd rather hardly make any money doing this than make a lot of money doing something I hated. Because if you do a lot of, if I just wanted a job where I could, like, be myself and be creative. You know, and I think that's what a lot of people want. Like, you don't have to do YouTube per se, but it's like, the reason I like doing YouTube is because it lets you do what you want to do, and it's like you're on a stage. So whether you like drawing or playing video games and commentating or making machinimas or you know, making, like, makeup tutorials or fashion videos or non-content or game reviews or vlogs, you know, it's whatever. You know, as long as there's people there to watch it, why not, right? But, you know, if you don't like being on camera or doing video, you can be a video editor for someone. You can go become a comic book writer. You can go, I don't even know how to become a comic. I don't even think they write comic. I think they just do them on the computer now. I don't know. You know, just, I always thought you want to do something that's meaningful, that, like, contributes to society. And it's like, I just want to do things that are like, ugh. I'm on a rant again. Where am I going? Back on track. This all came from my personal life. I don't talk about my personal life because it's personal, and it's not that interesting. That's why. Either way, it's like when I recorded TB in his, you know, his house playing with his dog. If you haven't seen that, it's great. It has Mystery Woman, which people asking who she is, it's a mystery. It's a Mystery Woman. And then his dogs and him, like, fishing for his dogs. It's a great video. I think I titled it, like, best video ever or something, or mystery fishing with dogs or something. I don't know, go watch it. And everyone's like, wow, TB, you have a really nice house. It's like, well, yeah, like, he lives in North Carolina, which is, like, you know, it's not that city-like, you know, there's a lot of open space, so houses are cheaper. And he makes YouTube money, but it's like, it's not like he threatened them for money and then, like, brags about it. Like, that's what they pay him, so he'll take what they pay him. Like, you know, if you went to a job and they're like, hey, we'll pay you like $100 an hour, you'd be like, okay. Like, right? It's dumb. I hate when people ask each other what they make. Like, I don't even ask other people what they make. Like, somebody could be like, I make $1 billion an hour. I'd be like, oh, that's cool. Like, I don't care. I just want to meet cool people. That's all I want. That's the whole point I'm trying to get at. I just like meeting people. I don't care if they're poor. I don't care if they make a lot of money. I just like meeting friendly people. And that's that. That aren't crazy. That aren't going to, like, stalk me. And yeah. Let's move on. Jacob Pietras. I like saying it like that. It's probably not that at all. Do you feel as if WoW has changed your life since making videos around it became your job? I kind of just answered that. It definitely changed my life because it gave me a job and a hobby and friends and a lot of things. I don't know why I picked that question, but I picked that question And it kind of tied into the previous one, so I'm just going to move on. Matt Hepworth says, thoughts on Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls? I think the game's really fun. I think they did the right thing by taking out the auction house, for obvious reasons. And then, I know somebody's going to be like, what are the obvious reasons? The obvious reasons are, the auction house made it so the end game got very dull and you could just buy everything, and gold became more valuable than actual items. And in those games, it's supposed to be about the items. It's supposed to be about grinding and farming and getting an item and then being like, whoa, I got this cool item. You know, I'm gonna go sell it on the auction house now. More like I'm gonna keep it or trade it, or, you know, just, it should be more valuable on playing the game and grinding and using your time to get items than, you know, farming gold for the auction house. And that's why I'm glad they did that. Plus, this expansion's more like a darker theme, and I like that as well. Like, it's not really like, woo, Leia and the Diablo and that butterfly woman, and I don't know. The first story was okay. This one's cool. It's like, the Angel of Death is here, and he's like, gonna cause death, and everyone's like, oh shit. I think it's cool. And they've added endgame. I hear they're adding PvP now, so it's like they're kind of making it the game I think everyone wanted it to be with this expansion. And I think it's really cool. I'm happy for it. I really like Diablo, and that's why I'm glad this expansion came out, because now I'm going to play it a lot more too. And finally, we got a question from Lee Cedric Hatchman, who says, do you think more people should put up more high-quality non-content videos on YouTube? I think so. I think they should. But if they do them poorly, I don't think they should. Only if it's high-quality non-content. It can't just be non-content. It can't be content. You have to be careful there. You can't walk the line and make high-quality content or just normal content. It has to be high-quality non-content. Very specific. And there's an art to it. I've done it so much that it's practically, you know, second nature to me on making this non-content. But it's not easy. It looks easy, but it's not. That's the biggest thing about it. I've seen some people make some content, or non-content, and I was like, that's pretty good non-content. It's not quite high quality, though. And then I've seen some high-quality non-content from some YouTubers. I won't say their names, but I've seen it from some of them, and I was like, they got it. They know what they're doing. They got this. But it's not a lot of them. It's a very small field right now. It's growing. So if you want to see some high-quality non-content, go to youtube.com/CrendorIRL. That's pretty great. And I think that's it. Is that it? I mean, unless I can think of some more movies, which I don't think I can. Or any other things I wanted to announce, which I don't think there are. Let's see. Blizzard, Hearthstone, Diablo. Wow. Oh yeah, I guess someone asked about beta. Warlords of Draenor beta. I think it's still going to be very soon. Compared to like Mist of Pandaria, I think that started in March. And March is ending now, and it was kind of on the same timetable as this one, so I'd be surprised if it wasn't in April. I'd be very surprised. So I'm going to be covering it, obviously, because it's pretty much my job, and I enjoy covering beta. I think it's fun just getting into the game and trying to find things before other people. That's the biggest thing I like about beta, is trying to find things before other people. It's like a scavenger hunt. That's the way I look at it. And then like when I found that creepy panda kid, and he was like, oh, hello, and it was just like, what the hell is going on? I thought that was really cool. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm excited. I can't wait to get back into WoW. I think it's gonna be soups fun. I was going to be making a book show with a mysterious woman, which got delayed. I was going to do fishing with Crendor, which got delayed. I was going to do my new rap song, which got delayed. And I just need to I need to reorganize my brain. I need to finish Speed Bowl, get Speed Bowl back on track. I'm doing Hearthstone. I have things to do. This is the problem. I've talked about this before. I have so many things to do, and then I think about them all in my head, and then I just push them all aside. I'm just like, I'm just gone internet or watch movies or play games. So I gotta sit down. I gotta write. I have to. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I enjoy ranting often in these World of Crendors. If you would like to have your question answered and rambled on, you can go to YouTube, or I mean, you could go to youtube.com/WoWcrendor if you want. It's a fun place, great place for the whole family. You can go to facebook.com/Crendor, twitter.com/WoWcrendor, and you can ask questions there when I'm like, hey, time to ask questions. Or if not, I post videos that YouTube might not pick up in subscription feeds because YouTube, or I'll post random thoughts in my brain like, hey, I found a can of beans on the street. I don't know why, but who knows? Maybe I'll find a can of beans on the street and you'll be the first one to know. Or like the 30th person to know because 29 other people saw it first. Thanks for listening. Yeah. Okay. Blue.